Hello friends, hope you are doing well. Today we will discuss the issue on director salary where there is a confusion whether GST is applicable or not applicable. The whole confusion started with the decision of Rajasthan AR decision for Clearcraft. Till service tax regime, there was no confusion that there is no service tax payable on payments made to directors who are also employees of the company and draw salary. For other directors, service tax payable under reverse charge. Since there is no specification in the law, above assumptions being continued in the GST era also. However, the Rajasthan ruling in case of Claycraft, without providing any reason, mandate that GST being applicable under RCM to all payment to directors. These AR rulings now open the way of confusion and litigation. Consultants across the country are of the view that there cannot be any GST on salary paid to directors, but due to this AR ruling, litigation can be increased. Then now recently there is a Bangalore AR decision in the case of Anil Agarwal. The summary of the ruling is in respect of what to be considered for the turnover for GST, but following can be taken for the purpose of director salary. While this ruling as such is the concept of inclusivity of this receipt in the determination of aggregate turnover threshold for GST registration, the same also covers in some sense their taxability under GST. Specifically, there has been certain ambiguity around the levy of GST on salary or share of profits received by partners from partnership firms. The instant ruling tends to provide a level of comfort with regard to no GST positions adopted by working partners on receipt of salary or share of profit from partnership firms. Moreover, while the authority has also pronounced that any ruling on the salary received by the director in the absence of information, the authority seems to suggest that an executive director service shall not fall under the purview of GST. The authority has further listed certain benchmarks to evaluate a director service in the capacity of an employee, such as employee agreement, detail of ESI, PF, and appointment order. So, thus, when there is appointment order for the appointment of a director, and also there is the ESI and PF is there, then it means that the director is receiving salary and no GST can be applicable on that payment under Schedule 3 of the CGST Act. In relation to above, it is pertinent to note that Rajasthan AR in case of Claycraft India Private Limited has pronounced a contrary ruling which suggests that services rendered by a director to a company shall be liable to GST under reverse charge. Therefore, in the presence of conflicting rulings toward executive directors, the said matter would attend finality only at higher appellate stages. Now, what a taxpayer should do? AR rulings are not binding on other taxpayers, and hence both ruling decisions are not binding on you. Schedule 3 was not discussed in the case of Rajasthan and it was being discussed in the case of Bangalore, which excludes salary from GST. Hence, the terms of the appointment of directors are very important. A same can be determined if GST is applicable or not. So, dear taxpayer, please go and check the terms of the appointment of the directors. And if there is no terms of director appointment, please make a one. Please make sure that their salary are covered under PF and other necessary or ESI, TDS been deducted under section 92B, and if all these are happening, then there cannot be any GST on salary paid to directors. I hope this small video able to provide a clarification on the subject. For more information, please call us at 90089 44082 or email us at the rate taxachale@gmail.com. Please subscribe our channel for more information. Thank you.